In last class we have seen sampling process and different types of samples. Today we will see central limit theorem. First see the sampling distribution. Sampling distribution is the probability distribution of a statistic such as sample mean, standard deviation computed from several random samples. Means it will tell how a sample statistic is distributed when repeated trials of size n are taken. To understand, let's take one example. If you roll a single die, you are equally likely to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Each value will come up 1/6 of the time. So the probability distribution of single die rolled 6 times will have each value comes up one time. What happens if you roll 2 dice and add their values? There are 36 different permutations of die rolls that you can get out of 2 dice. There are only 11 different sums that you can get from these 2 dice, the values from 2 to 12. Those 36 different die permutations don't map evenly onto these 11 different possible sums. You are more likely to get values in middle of the range. You are more likely to get values in the middle of the range than edges. Instead of taking this sum of these 2 dice, if we take the average, the probability distribution of the average values for 2 dice rolled is shown here. The key point is that the probability outcome is more concentrated in the center of the graph for 2 die rolls than it is for single die roll. If you roll 3 dice, there are 216 different permutations. The probability distribution for 3 die average is shown here. The average of 3 dice has greater concentration of probability in the center of the graph than the average of 2 dice. Here in the center you have more values when it compared with this 2 dice. If you roll 4 dice, even more concentration around the center of the graph, and at the edges it is very less. Observation here is 1. No matter how many dice are rolled, the average value is always centered on, here it is 3.5. It is same for all these. Here also it is 3.5. This is because the average of all the numbers on single die is 3.5. As you increase the number of dice, the probability of getting an average value that is on the edges of the range decreases. Here you have little bit more data when it compared with 3 dice. Here you have very less data, means most of your data is around the center, and at edges you have less data. Here even very less data. The bulk of the probability shifts to the center of the graph. If we plot 2, 3 and 4 dice rolled, distributions will be like this. As you can see, the greater the number of rolls, the more probability distribution of the average values is clustered around the average value 3.5. This is for 2 dice. This red curve is for 3 dice. This for 4 dice. This means that standard deviation of the average is decreasing as you increase the number of samples used to calculate it. If we calculate the standard deviation of the average for a given number of dice, for single die, this is just the population standard deviation, which is 1.7. For 2 dice, it would be 1.20. For 3 dice, it would be 0.99. For 4 dice, it would be 0.85. As expected, we see that standard deviation of the average continues to drop as we increase the number of samples. The rate of change of the standard deviation of average is equal to the standard deviation of the population divided by square root of number of samples. Here our population standard deviation sigma equal to 1.7. The standard deviation for sample size 2 for this is 1.7 by sample size here it is 2, so square root 2. It will be 1.20. For sample size 3, 1.7 by square root 3, which is 0.99. For sample size 4, it is 1.7 by square root 4, it is 0.8. As the sample size increases, standard deviation decreased by the factor of square root of the sample size. As you increase the number of samples, the resulting average of your measurements is increasing, likely to be close to the true population average. So, we can estimate parameter with greater precision. This is the main reason to like large samples in statistics. Central limit theorem. For large samples drawn from population with mean mu and standard deviation sigma, the sampling distribution of the mean follows approximate normal distribution with mean x bar is close to the population distribution mean mu, and standard deviation of sample mean, it is denoted as sigma x bar, equal to sigma by square root n, irrespective of the distribution of the population. This is also called as standard error. If x1, x2 and xn are random samples of each size n taken from population with mean mu and standard deviation sigma, if we plot the distribution of means of several such samples of size n, the sampling distribution tends to Gaussian distribution. Means here we are plotting mean values of all the samples. That distribution will follow Gaussian distribution or normal distribution with mean mu and standard deviation sigma by square root n for large n. The population distribution can be anything. It need not be normal distribution. In our previous example, here our population is uniform distribution, but sampling distributions are normal distributions. If you take the large sample, if you roll more number of dice, the distribution of sampling distribution look like normal distribution. We have seen normal distribution. Let's see standard normal distribution. It is a special case of normal distribution with mean 0 and standard deviation 1, and its probability density function is this one. See here, these four curves are normal distributions, but the only red curve is the standard normal distribution, because see here for this red curve mean is 0 and standard deviation is 1 or standard variance is 1. For remaining all the three curves here variance is different. It is very useful in statistical calculations. Suppose you have test scores which are normally distributed with mean 55 and standard deviation 10. You pick a random test score without looking at the score and you want to know the probability score below 65. What you can do is take the probability density function of normal distribution. Let's see the normal distribution probability density function. This is the probability density function of the normal distribution. You have to integrate this curve from minus infinity to 65 to calculate the probability x less than 65 by substituting this mean and this standard deviation in that equation. But it is very complex integration. Instead, if you standardize your function, then you can get much easier. Here our x is 65. To standardize this, we have to subtract mean and divide it by standard deviation and let the random variable z equal to x minus mu by sigma. This z will have standard normal distribution, means its mean will be 0 and standard deviation 1. Here mean is 55, but this z will have standard normal distribution. In this case 65 minus 55 by 10, it is 1. So this 65 will be 1 in standard normal distribution. So now you know that P of x less than 65 on your this normal distribution is equivalent to P of z less than 1 on this standard normal distribution. You are now interested in the area of the region which is less than 1, this area. It is 0.84, probability that the score is lower than 65. To get this value, you can integrate standard normal distribution density function, this one, or you can search on normal distribution table, Z table. This second one means referring Z tables is much easier and it is preferable one. Let's see the Z tables. This is the Z table. You have to look for 1 on left side and 0 0 on top. Because it is 1, it will be 0.341. This table is one half of the standard normal distribution, that is the right half. It is 34, and here we have the entire area on the left side of our distribution also. So it will be 50%. 50 plus this 34, it will be 84. So probability value is 0.84. In normal distribution, about 68.27% of values within one standard deviations away from mean. About 95.45% of values lies within two standard deviations. Within two standard deviations from this here to here, 95.45% of data will be there. And 99.73% are within 3 standard deviations from here to here. This is known as 68, 95, 99.7 rule or 3 sigma rule. In statistics, 68, 95, 99.7 rule is a shorthand used to remember the percentage of values that lies within 1, 2 and 3 standard deviations respectively. This is the numerical table with 6 standard deviations and expected fraction of population inside range.